Hello Omnisphere users, Mike here, and in this video you are going to improve your sound design power in Omnisphere by using what's called a shared signal path. So let's explore this right now. You will also get a bonus power tip if you watch to the end of this video. So check this out, this is actually an advanced power tip in Omnisphere that I expect many of you have missed out on, because if you go to the main area here, in any preset of Omnisphere, the default mode, if you check on signal path right here, is normal. So what does this mean? This means that every layer here, A, B, C, and D, are independent of each other. Meaning, so if I just solo this, by the way, if you hold down the Alt key or Option on Mac, you can left click and solo any layer like this. If you click on this little blue sign here, so solo that. This is, if you check here on A, atmosphere strings. This one is this synth waveform called economy class. I don't know why. And C is Juno 60 sub. Oh, no. Alright, so together they sound like this. Alright, so they are independent. What does this mean? This means that I can, if I go in here again, solo C, I can put on a filter here on this one, and if I once again solo B, it didn't affect the B layer because they are independent of each other, meaning that you can do creative sound design with the filters, envelopes, and amp here independent of each other. Now, this is the cool thing. If you go back to main, and instead of using the normal signal path, you click and press shared. And voila, you can see this turned yellow. All these layers now have a yellow light. And if you go into them, you can see which parts are now synced together, shared, so to speak, between the layers. The filter section, the envelope section, meaning all these envelopes, and the amp are now shared. What do this mean? Well, if we once again solo here the A layer, and then I turn on the filter and have a low pass filter on it, it turns darker and warmer, of course. But if I now solo the B layer, that is also darker, and the C layer also darker because they are shared. So if I do, let's say if I turn this up again. Oh, I'm on the C layer here. So if I turn this up and listen to the A layer, like this, then I will play and solo the A layer, but I will go into the B here and do adjustments, even though the A layer is what I play. If I turn this down on the B layer, you can hear. I changed the A layer by turning the filter on the B layer because they are shared, they are synced together. I really love this because now this means that you can, for example, by the way, that was the filter. The envelopes and the amp here are also yellow, as you can see, meaning that you can, for example, let's go into the C layer here and let's turn it into a pluck sound by reducing the attack, the decay, low sustain, low release. Like that. Okay. Now, let's go back and solo and listen to the string patch. What did happen here? Okay, so it's very low in the mix, but if you listen carefully, I basically created a pluck sound of the strings by changing the envelope here on the C layer. Again, why? Because they are main shared signal path, meaning that every change you make in the filter section, the envelope section, all these envelopes, and the amp are now shared between all layers. So even if I load up a new oscillator here, it will still be sharing the settings here on these yellow marked parts. So I'm sure you can see how this can be super powerful, because now you can easily create, for example, a pad sound by layering several different layers here with A, B, and C, even D, and set only the amp envelope for long pad sound, for example. Let's do that, in fact, like this. And that will be shared by all layers. In case you use the main here with the normal path, if you had a pluck sound on layer C or D, that will really add just a layer of pluck into the pad, which in most cases you do not want. So that is my tip for you today. Go into main, click on shared, and try layering sounds with this shared signal path to create a complex new sound that shares the same filter section and settings, envelope, and even amp. By the way, if you want to change the level of the layers, don't do it on the amp in this case, but go to main, then layers here, and then set the levels right here instead. And now it's time for the bonus power tip. But before I show you this, I want to ask you kindly to like, subscribe, and consider clicking that notification bell on YouTube, because you will help support my channel so I can continue making tips and tricks and tutorials for you. Alright, so check this out. When you have clicked the shared button here for the signal path and added the layers you want, synth or sample based, so that you have a sound that you enjoy, like this one here, for example. If you go into the effects chain, check this out. You can see here already all these A, B, C, and D are all blue, and I can't change that because they are also part of the shared signal chain, which is a good thing in my opinion, because now you can really mangle the entire sound as one, which is way easier than going in one by one and adding similar effects, and also save CPU power. So I've added this Stompbox distortion. If I activate that and play this A sound, only these acoustic strings, without it, natural organic orchestral strings, with it, really gritty, powerful, dirty distortion. And if I solo the B layer, it's the same. Okay, so distorted way high, and then the final layer as well. Okay, so you can't really hear it that much there, but in total now, when you have added these layers and you add whatever you want to add here, it really amplifies the power of the effects rack. So you can add, for example, some dynamics, tape slammer at the end as well, saturate this knob up here, and now going from this into that is one powerful sound. So now go ahead and explore these aspects: the shared signal path for layering, the shared effects rack for creating super powerful layered sounds in only one part of Omnisphere. Now choose which video you are going to watch next, or you can check out the amazing bonuses in the video description.